Hey everyone, welcome to Retaliatory Strike. Today we have a game between myself, Ryan, playing Baulder 1 and Bob playing Malakov 2.
Hi, I'm Bob, and I'm playing Khador in Wolves of Winter theme at 35 points with no requisition point. I've got Malakov 2 running a Beserker, a Destroyer, and Ruin. He's got a Greylord Seer and a Koldun Lord. We've got minimum battle mechanics and a unit of Doom Reavers with the command attachment. The concept being the Doom Reavers are my expendable shock troops, followed up by the Beserker, my expendable jack, followed up by the more expensive, nicer jacks. And the Koldun Lord and Greylord Seer can empower jacks for just a little bit of free focus. That's it.
Hey everyone, I'm Ryan. Today I am running a Baulder 1 list in Bones of Ouroboros. My list is 35 points with no requisition option. For my list, I have Baulder 1 running a Woldwarden, a Woldwatcher, 2 Woldwyrds, and a Druid Wilder. For solos, I have 3 Blackclad Stoneshapers, and for units, 2 Sentry stones and Mannikins and shifting stones. The idea behind this is the Woldwatcher gets to go up in front and absorb a charge with the Woldwarden in behind to trade up from whatever charges the Woldwatcher. And then I have 2 Woldwyrds to make sure that people don't like casting animuses and or upkeeps because they will shoot things off the board fairly reliably. And then the Druid Wilder is in there for free upkeeps. I put in the 3 Blackclad Stoneshapers to help support the walls with repairs and making them stronger. The 2 Sentry stones and Mannikins are because they're phenomenal contesting pieces, and they also are really good at clearing out chaff infantry, and they're one of my favorite units in Circle. And then a unit of shifting stones for teleport shenanigans and serenity if required. Deployment. So we rolled off and I won, and I chose to go second. For terrain, in the top left hand side we have 2 forests, in the middle 2 water, very bottom right is rough terrain, bottom left is 2 walls in the zone, and top is a house. And then Bob's deployment.
So I put Malakov pretty central, backed up by his wizards, flanked by his jacks, and I have Doom Reavers left to advance deploy.
For Baulder, I put him fairly central too, with a Woldwarden right beside and Woldwyrd. Put 1 Woldwyrd down lower to go up behind that wall, and the Stoneshapers in behind to support.
Now I set up my Doom Reavers here because I'm hoping I can try to get them towards the bottom zone.
And then I do my shifting stones in the middle for teleport shenanigans, Woldwatcher up top for that zone, and then Sentry stones on both sides for contesting.
Khador, turn 1. So first thing, theme benefit of Wolves of Winter, I apparate that unit of Doom Reavers up. Just generally forward. Malakov starts going, he casts Escort on himself, and then he walks up and casts Tactical Supremacy on the Destroyer, and then he wants to lay out a Veil of Mists to protect everything coming around that cloud area. So he's going to lay that out. Like so. Then I'm trying to figure out the threat ranges of the Mannikins for their walk and spray, and it's pretty decent. So I decided to just run my Doom Reavers into the zone over here, so knowing he'll have to send something in to deal with them or else I'll start scoring it. Then I run my Beserker 10 inches because of Escort, which is real nice. I run Ruin, and I trample and reposition the Destroyer to get it nice and fire up. And then I just run my Koldun Lords and Mechaniks up in behind, and that's my turn.
Circle, turn 1. So for my turn here, the first thing that I am doing is looking at threat ranges and stuff. So I roll up Fury for my Sentry stones. I move the bottom one up, put a Forest on it so it has stealth, and then I run the Mannikins to get in the way, so then he can't charge that. for the top unit, I make sure that it is out of the charge range of Doom Reavers with Apparate, and then put up a forest and move one Mannikin within reach of a Doom Reaver. So if he wants to kill it, that's fine because I get it back next turn. After that, I am going with Baulder, and he puts up Stone Skin on the Woldwarden, and he puts up the forest base to base with the other forest to make a bigger area of line of sight blocking, and then walks up so he is within the triangle of those shifting stones. Both of my Woldwyrds run up, and then I have the Woldwatcher walk up and shoot a Doom Reaver, which he hits and kills, and he fertilizes into a forest, and then he puts up Stone Form to be armor 21 this turn, and then the Woldwarden riles and tramples and is in the shifting stones, and then I move up the Wilder and the Stoneshapers to support my models next turn.
Khador, turn 2. So, first thing, of course, we're going to have to apparate some Doom Reavers. We're also looking at paying for upkeeps and trying to figure out if I want to allocate. I decide I'm going to use Empowers to get focus on my Jack, so I don't allocate anything. I apparate my Doom Reavers up so they can all see stuff. We've got a light in range. Here I'm measuring the Destroyer to see if I can charge and smack a thing, and I can. There's me. I think this is me still paying for upkeep because I have a lot of upkeeps here. I do upkeep Veil of Mist, looks like. Now Doom Reavers charge in and start smacking on a Woldwatcher, that one is. Now I send almost all of them in. One guy goes after a Mannikin, and in hindsight they all should have gone on the Woldwatcher. I thought 4 of them were going to kill him, but when he's got that stone form up, he's really hard to kill. He's armor 24?
21.
21? He's armor 21. So I'm smacking on him, thinking 4 guys will kill him. I can't remember if I whiffed some rolls or not, but he survives on like 5 boxes. And then the one other guy kills a Mannikin, and he should have hit the Woldwatcher, as it turns out. Then I run up a Beserker to back them up, because I think he's going to have to trade with his Woldwarden. And I'm forgetting that the Woldwarden can teleport. That comes into play next turn. Here I'm looking at charging him up, but first I'm like, right, I need to empower. So my Forge Cheer goes up and empowers him. Then he charges in, smacks another Mannikin, repositions onto the Mannikin stone, forgetting that it's going to be able to teleport away from me too. Like, I don't know what I'm thinking here. Malakov goes up. I cycle Tactical Supremacy onto Ruin, because I'm thinking Ruin can't be targeted by spells. That'll keep it safe from the Woldwyrds. Forgetting that that's not how that works. They have magic guns, but it's not magic attacks like spells, so yeah, I definitely make a big mistake there. Trying to figure if I can put Tactical Supremacy anywhere else, and looking like, what did I put Tactical Supremacy on the Wizard? No, because I need him to try to do stuff. So I leave it on Ruin. But I know it's a bad idea at this point, but it's happening, because that's all I can do. I, in hindsight again, should have just left it on the Destroyer, I guess, or something. I don't even know. I made a mistake there. Let's see, then I look at moving up some Wizards. So the Koldun Lord's going to move up and put up Wind Ravager, but he can't quite get on the flag. I was counting on the repo to do that, and then I ran Mechaniks up to be sack pawn targets.
Circle, turn 2. So for my turn here, I pull in all the Fury. It works out. I get to upkeep Rapid Growth for free from the Wilder, and I pay to upkeep Stone Skin on the Warden. I moved up Stoneshaper and healed the Woldwatcher, and then I moved up another Stoneshaper and gave the Warden another +2 strength, so now he's hitting at POW plus strength 20s. And I had forgotten to put down Mannikins, so we did at this point. I rolled up Fury, got max Fury at the top, and I rolled up Fury for the bottom. There I teleported the Warden in to combat with the Beserker and started making attacks. So my first 2 hit, and then I end up using all 3 Fury to buy attacks and killed him on my last attack there. After that, I'm checking to make sure that Ruin is in combat or within range of the Woldwyrds. So I need to clear out these Doom Reavers still. So I move up all the Mannikins to start taking shots, boosting some shots here. So I end up killing the command attachment with one, and the other one takes a spray in and removes one guy, and the third one sprays in and removes two guys for me there. In a moment, I'm trying to decide if I want a forest or not for my guy, but I decide to boost, so I do remove those two. And then I also hit my own Woldwatcher there, didn't do any damage at least. From there, my Woldwatcher moves up and he thumps the second last Doom Reaver there and fertilizes them into some more forest, which is good. And then he put up stone form again just to make it more difficult. And here's where I send in a Woldwyrd to shoot at Ruin, who now has superiority on him, so tactical supremacy on him. So I get purgation shots. So I take my first shot. He's fairly easy to hit, so with 3 dice, it's pretty reliable. Boost damage, get 9 points in on that one. Hit again, boost, get 7 more in. Third shot, I get some more damage in, 3 more damage in. So I've pretty much half-healthed Ruin. So I send in my second Woldwyrd there.
We're just checking the range for Wind Ravager to make sure you don't...
Double checking the range for Wind Ravager. And I'm still out of it. So he takes his 3 shots, boosting damage on 2 of them. And I remove him with my last shot there. After that, I send my Mannikins into his destroyer in the bottom there. I end up doing 2 points of damage, and then I use my Fury on him to put up a forest and then teleport behind it. So with his no way of giving out Pathfinder, he can't walk and attack my rock. So the Sentry Stone stays alive for another turn at least. From here, I move up Baulder, I cast Solid Ground, and I drop the rest of the Fury.
Khador, turn 3. So, I know I'm going to operate Doomers in a second, but first I pay for an upkeep. Upkeep Escort. I drop Veil of Mists. Now I remember, I think, to apparate the Doom Reaver. I'm looking to get him into the back lines a little bit. I don't have a lot of pieces to work with at this point, so things are getting a little desperate. I'm trying to make a plan of what I can do with what I have, which there's not a lot, but the Doom Reaver, I look at my choices. I do a charge onto the Shifting Stone, hoping to set up, he's in a way you can see the 2, Stoneshapers. So he doesn't kill the stone though, so I don't get to Berserk into stuff. Malakov moves up just to get his control range on that Destroyer, because the Destroyer was out of control range. So now that he's in control range, the Destroyer has the benefit of Escort, so he can walk 6 inches instead of 4. Malakov puts a Veil of Mist on himself, tells himself to have Prowls, now he has Stealth. The Koldun Lord puts a Wind Ravager. The Greylord Escort is going to move up. I don't think he does anything in particular. Yeah, he just moves up there. Mechaniks move up, not in Sackpawn range, because I was worried about the trick Baulder can do where you can teleport into a forest. Now the Destroyer walks up and swings an axe into the Woldwyrd, does a little bit of damage to it. And that's about all I figure I can do with the models that I have left. So that's my turn.
Circle, turn 3. So for my turn here, he's starting to look pretty desperate, so I pull in all the Fury that I can. I leave 1 on the Warden, 2 on the Watcher, and 1 on the Wyrd, because I went pretty hot last turn. I drop Stone Skin, and I also dropped Solid Ground, and I upkept Rapid Growth for free because I was kind of hoping that I could do a fun trick where the Woldwatcher turns a guy into a forest, and then Baulder teleports into that forest to then be on a caster, but he kept all of his guys out because I've caught him with that before. So I use my Warden to trample up and Geomancy and Earth Spikes at the Koldun Lord to get rid of Wind Ravagers, so my Weirds can move up within stealth range and shoot Malakov. So my first one goes in, I hit with the first attack, I boost damage, and I crank damage in. Even with fading 5, he still took about 10 points of damage. I hit him for another couple points there, and now I'm looking at removing this Destroyer to clear up that Warden, but first I use the Watcher to finish off the
final Doom Reaver.
The final Doom Reaver, yeah. And then I charge in Baulder. He goes in and he's doing pretty good here. So he hits, -2 defense. Charge attack does some damage. I buy an attack, hit, I boost damage, do some more damage, and I use my entire stack on that. So that's pretty good. And I ended up leaving him on 3 boxes. So both arms are crippled. So at this point, I'm figuring my Woldwyrd can probably not get hit by the free strike. I'm trying to see if I can get the last Fury off of it, and I can't. So I moved the one guy up and repair for 3 points. He moves up and he misses with the free strike, and he shoots into Malakov, and he ends up not hitting it or doing any damage with his 3 shots. And then I'm just moving Mannikins around because when I teleported back, they were out of control range, and then I move up Stoneshapers to support. At this point, Bob pretty much says that he's gonna forfeit because he has 3 boxes left on a jack, and I say, well, here, let's send in the super combat solo that is the
Druid Wilder.
That is the Druid Wilder in. So she ends up charging in a minute here. So she charges in, and she hits, and she cranks the damage and does 3 boxes, which ends the game.
I got nothing.
Afterthoughts. So my afterthoughts for this game was it was a pretty rough matchup for Bob. I have longer threat ranges than him for the most part, and just the fact that he didn't kill that Watcher when he charged in an entire unit of Doom Reavers minus the one guy, and then parking his Beserker perfectly within range for me to teleport and kill it, and then fumbling his upkeep over to ruin so 2 Woldwyrds can remove him from the table is also pretty rough. Overall, I think I played my side of the game really, really good, but
yeah.
What do you think you could improve on?
Mistakes were made. Many mistakes were made. In my list composition even, I should have had an adjunct in there for the upkeep and for the extra cloud. And Malakov likes having some clouds around to use his Battle Order to get Prowl to turn to Stealth. So I should have had that done right in my fucking list building. And then the way I bungled a lot of plays, because I kind of forgot how some rules worked. Like, you've caught me with the teleporting a walled in before, and I still fell for it again. You caught me with, like, for some reason in my head, I thought the fact that Ruin couldn't be targeted by spells was going to prevent the Woldwyrds from shooting them off the table, but that's not how that works. And, like, I made some pretty bad mistakes.
It's a magical attack, but it's not a magic attack.
Yeah, and for some reason, my feverish brain thought that was going to work. In hindsight, if I could have replayed that, I put Tactical Supremacy on the Mechaniks just to get it off my jacks. That probably would have been a way smarter play for me.
Yeah, I think you probably would have been in a way better position if you had done that, but
I didn't. So, yeah, good game though for you anyway. Horribly misplayed for me, but I think I learned a few things.
Yeah, it was unfortunate that you didn't put. I think it's because I've caught Malakov with it before. You're running a mechanic up beside him, so you can sack pawn it to them.
Yeah, because normally he'd sack. Like normally those mechanics have been clustered around him, so when you shot at him with Woldwyrds, I'd sack pawn to them.
Yeah.
But I didn't want them to turn to a forest that Baulder would appear and then bash me in the head.
Yeah, appear in his back arc and then club him to death with his stone sword.
Because that's not good.
Yeah, it was. I've managed to do it once, and it was a lot of fun for me at least. So. Other than that, thanks for watching. This has been Retaliatory Strike.